Hi, my name's Owen. I'm 16 years old, and I'm here to tell y'all about the story of how I came to meet Jesus. It wasn't a clear path. It hasn't been easy, but I have come to the realization that Jesus is King and is the God of the universe. But to understand my story, we have to go to the beginning. In June of 2009, I was born into this world, into a loving family. Life always seemed to be good, and for the first 8 years of my life, I felt free, not knowing what was truly going on in this world. I was a normal kid. I wanted to drive a tractor when I grew up, then I wanted to be an astronaut, then I wanted to play in the MLB, typical kid stuff. I had an awesome childhood. I had loving parents, good friends, and most importantly, I lived like a kid. But I could always tell there was something missing in my life. I had everything that a kid would want, but still, something felt off. The first time I ever remember hearing the name Jesus was in the 3rd grade. Yeah, I have a pretty good memory. Anyways, the first time I ever heard of Jesus was in the 3rd grade in the school cafeteria when my childhood best friend talked about him. I don't even remember what he told me. I just remember him saying the name Jesus. I never really thought of it too much and just continued to live my life. By the time I was in 4th grade, I had built a friend group at my elementary school. Our parents had gotten together and signed all of us up for a week overnight camp. This camp, which I would come to fall in love with, was called Camp Deer Run. To kind of diverge from the story, I have to tell y'all this before we go any further. I was not born into a Christian family. My mom, my dad, my grandparents, my cousins, no one in my family is a Christian. I was not joking when I said the first time I heard the name Jesus was in 3rd grade. It genuinely was. Looking back at it, it kind of does hurt that Jesus wasn't in my childhood. It really does. But when I was at that age, when I was living through my childhood, I didn't really know any better. I was fine the way I was. I just wanted to let everybody know about this. Let's get right back into the story. As I was saying, in the summer leading up to 5th grade, I went to my first overnight camp called Camp Deer Run. I literally didn't even know what Christianity was, so I had no clue what this camp was going to be about. So, the night before I left for camp, my parents sat me down and had a conversation with me. This was a very personal conversation, so I'm not going to share what they told me, but all you need to know is that they told me that Christianity is not real, and this camp will teach me false things. However, they did tell me to keep an open mind when I learned these things at the camp and form my own opinions on them. So I go to this camp, learn about Jesus, and have an awesome time. A funny story from the camp was when we were introducing ourselves to the other cabin mates, we had to say our name and our favorite Bible verse. I had literally never opened a Bible, and my friend told me to grab a verse from Luke, and that is when I randomly flipped to the Bible and chose verse Luke 1:37. It was amazing to finally meet Jesus at this camp, and I truly encountered the Holy Spirit for the first time ever. I remember going home and seeing my parents, really wanting to tell them that I wanted to become a Christian, but I was genuinely too scared. All in all, Camp Deer Run will always have a special place in my heart, and it was the first point in my life where I felt the Holy Spirit. Not even a year later.
It's been almost a month since the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed.
Make a fresh decision now. Take a fresh look at the issue now, looking at what's going on now.
It's a new type of coronavirus.
A mystery virus they'd hoped to contain, but one we now know can jump from human to human.
I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about COVID being the darkest time in people's lives and how it socially messed them up. Guys, COVID was peak. Me and my best friend Grant literally hung out every day, raced Hot Wheels, played Roblox. It was the best time of my life, and we just messed around. It was so fun. We would hang out every single day. It didn't even matter what we did, but we had so much fun. But regarding my relationship with Christ, nothing during this time happened. We could come together and learn how to love each other. From 6th to ninth grade, nothing happened regarding my faith. I always told myself that I believed in Jesus, but I wasn't worthy to be a Christian. Looking back at it, that seems dark, but really, life wasn't half bad. I had my friends, I had my family, I had everything in this life that was there to make it okay. But yeah, I never experienced the real love of Jesus, and I really never knew who Jesus was. Then, 2024 hits. This was the worst year of my life. There was little to no happiness. It was very dark times. Friends I had grown so close to had left me. Truthfully, everything was falling apart in my life. The worst part of it all, I ignored God. I didn't open my Bible a single time the whole year. I had stopped believing in Jesus, and I had believed in myself. I would always ask myself why I felt so empty, why everything I did in this life seemed to fail. I had no idea what I was missing out on. I thought I was better than everyone. I thought this mentality would get me further in life than looking to Jesus. Things I cared very deeply about, like school and cross country, just went out the door. I stopped caring about them and I put no effort into it. I was broken. I searched the world for joy, but came back emptier every single time. I associated myself with the wrong people and gained a horrible reputation. I had a detrimental fear that if I looked inside myself and searched for who I truly was, I'd break down in tears and never recover. Then, on Christmas, it hit me. I broke down in tears. This was not the life I wanted. The problem was, I had no idea how to recover, how to fix what I had broken. What I didn't realize was I needed Jesus. Not even a week later, the Lord changed my life. I was brought to the light. I knew that Jesus came onto this earth and died for my sins. And this all leads to 2025, the year God changed my life. A wise man once said,
I am who I am.
"You can't rely on things in this life to change your life. Find your purpose. Find your dream. Don't be afraid to let it consume you. Don't be afraid to act upon it."
I'm very blessed to have these recent videos do good. Even though I had the highs of 2024, what defined 2024 for me was the lows. And I'm pretty sure at the last second, God was going to tell us everything. He was like, Testimony, right?
And is the God of the universe